Hey there, everybody. Hey. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So I sit here this morning, late morning, with a mocha, which I normally don't drink, and I have not been allowing myself a whole lot of sugar or sweetness just because of all the hustle and bustle and the stress that the last couple months have actually been. The front end of this year has definitely been a very interesting front of the year. So I'm sitting here enjoying a mocha this morning and getting ready for client appointments and stuff. So I thought I might as well pop on before my day gets crazy again, because my second eldest daughter is moving into her own house with her boyfriend. They were in transition, moving from one house to the other, and had a 2-week gap between houses. So they have been in my house with their 3 little ones for the last 2 weeks, and today is moving day. So while I'm sitting here, they're moving all of their furniture into their new house, which is very, very exciting. And they're only going to be about maybe 10 to 15 minutes away from me, so I still get to keep my family close, which is definitely one of those big things to me. So yes, I was sitting here and I'm enjoying my mocha, and there's some bitterness to it and there's some sweetness to it. And I was thinking about some other things from this morning, and it was interesting. As I was driving my kindergartner to school this morning, a song started to come on, and it had such powerful, sweet, just vibes to it, and it was so loving, and so all this different stuff. And I kind of tapped in and I was like, wow, I remember this song. It was playing. Where was it playing? Like, it really brought up a lot of emotion for me. It really put me in my heart space, and it just brought up all this emotion. I was like, where was this playing? And I started thinking about it, and I realized that it was playing about a year ago, a little over a year ago, more than a year ago. I guess it was about a year and a half ago. It was playing, and it was one of the last songs that I heard during a breakup. And it was, which would definitely be right there in this heart space. But I had all of this love come up for me, and I was like, oh yeah, that's so nice. I was listening to the lyrics and everything, and it was just like, ooh, feel good. And at the same time, there was a bitterness to it. So there was a sweet bitterness, and I was like, well, there's can always be some bitterness to the sweetness, and sweetness to every bitterness, right? And then as I was driving and I was listening to this song, I started having other thoughts about things, and it made me realize that what we often do is we tend to look at a sweet situation, something like the start of a relationship or the really sweet points in a relationship, and we get all cozy and lovey-dovey and just like, ooh, this feels so good, right? And we just love it, and we just really sink into it. But somewhere inside of us, we have this fear of the bitterness, and that would be kind of like saying, like, here I am, I'm drinking my mocha, right? And it's got perfect balance to it right this very second. But what if I really applied my focus on just the sweetness, and I just focused in on the sweetness, and I would be tasting a lot of the sweetness. But if I really wanted to, I could apply my focus to the bitterness, the more pungent taste of the coffee at that back side of the mocha, right? I could really focus in on either side of it if I so choose to. Now, I like to take it in as the full balance of it, everything. It's complete in itself. But a lot of the times what we do, and especially in relationship, and that's what I'm going to focus in on here right now, is that a lot of the times in relationship, we tend to really focus in on the front side with all the sweetness. But what we don't realize is that we're focusing in on it with this almost this like scarcity mentality. There's this fear inside of us of, oh my gosh, I really want this to remain like this. I really want it to be like this, because I can't live without this. I can't live without this feeling. I can't live without this sweetness. I can't live without this connection. I can't live without this feeling of love, without this feeling of like, ooh la la, right? All this different stuff. And the reality is that no relationship can be organic chocolate and roses and the best wine on the planet all the time. We ebb and we flow in our relationships, and there's bitterness and there's sweetness in our relationships. What we get more of is what we choose to focus on, but we have to consciously focus on it and release all the stuff that we might be unconscious of. So if you are focusing in on the sweet spots of your relationship with a fear-based mentality of, oh my gosh, I got to get all of this before it changes, before, and before it washes away, before it is not here, or you're looking at it as though, well, yeah, maybe this is here now, but can I trust it? Is it actually here or is it not? Anything that is bringing that fear up to the forefront, if you're looking at it, you're going, well, I want more of this because I'm scared of not having it, or I'm scared that it's not real, or, like reality checking constantly. If you're bringing yourself back, well, my experience has always been this, so I'm almost expecting this to happen here, even though this feels so good right now, then realize that what is actually going on is that your focus is not on the sweetness, but is actually on the bitterness of that relationship. Okay? And hold on just a second. There we go. So if you're focused in on just those bitter spots, even though you may not be conscious to it, realize that what you're actually doing is attracting that bitterness to you. So you might get some of that sweet stuff on that top. So it might be like a sweet layer, but then underneath it's just all bitter. And you might have this happen in your relationship. It might be just a common theme in your relationship of like, why is it always so good for the first 2, 3, 4 months, 6 months, year, however long that layer lasts, and then all of a sudden it turns bitter, it turns nasty. What the heck is going on? Well, that is because that underlying current of what you're actually thinking and feeling into is coming from a place of fear, a place of scarcity, a place of bitterness versus that focus onto the sweetness. So just keep that focus. If you want that sweet relationship, if you want that sweet abundance to come in, if you want that, that sweetness of life and adventure and experience with your work, with your family, with your friends, and just generalized, then what you have to look at is how are you really truly allowing it in. And it is how you allow it in comes in from the thoughts that you're thinking and the things that you are feeling towards it. So if you feel like, oh my gosh, this might go away, I'm fearful of this, this has been always my experience here, what if this happens again? Then know that what you are actually focusing on is that scarcity, that negativity of it, instead of the positiveness of it, instead of that sweetness of it. So pay attention to what is sweet in your world and what is bitter in your world, and ask yourself, no matter what those initial thoughts might be, but be consciously aware of what you're actually feeling and why you are so focused in on certain things. I think that a great way of going about it is listening to music, because music often brings us into a space of, oh, that feels so good, or I don't want to listen to this song or to that song because it pulls back a memory. And it's kind of like, why are you so scared to pull back that memory? I mean, I'm guilty of doing this myself tremendously. And it's a massive lesson, I think, for all of us, because we tend to avoid the things that we love the most out of fear of pulling up an emotion. But what are we actually pulling up? We're pulling up because we're fearful that we're going to pull up the negative emotion of not having this in our life anymore. So it's almost like something that brings us so much joy is pulling forth all of the fact that we don't have something that we believe we should have, or life would be better with this thing. So we start to not want to even enjoy the things that we normally would enjoy, because have this scarcity mentality of like, yeah, but I don't have that now, and that brought back this memory. Well, focus on the freaking amazing memory that it was and that it is, because we are blessed with these beautiful experiences, and the more we tap into those beautiful experiences for what they truly are, which is a perfect moment in our lifetime, in our life moment, these little segments, and how beautiful they can be. Feel into those moments. Don't feel into the fact that it's not there with you right now, but feel into the fact that it was there. What did that feel like? What did that really feel like in that moment? Allow yourself to bask in those beautiful moments, because when you can bask in those beautiful moments, guess what? You draw more of those beautiful moments to you right now in this current time frame and in future time frames. That's how you manifest what you want. The things that we have been provided in our past, those experiences are there so that we can always connect to them. We have that experience. Okay? Somebody who has never eaten chocolate before would not be able to tell you what chocolate tastes like. But somebody who eats chocolate, who has eaten chocolate a couple times or just once and had a good experience with it, can tell you exactly that good experience. If somebody ate really bitter chocolate that had no sugar in it, would tell you a completely different experience, right? So if you have experienced something, you can actually describe it, you can share that, you can connect to it, you can taste it again. You can feel it again. You cannot access something that you have no experience to. You can go on hearsay. You can say, oh yeah, well, so-and-so said, or I read it in a book, or I watched it on a show, but you don't really truly know what that feels like. So you can't really access what that is about. Okay? But if you've actually had that experience, then you can access that feeling. And if you've had good, positive, beautiful, romantic, turned on, adventurous, excited, abundant experiences, well then feel back into those. Feel back into those, not into the reality that you might be living right now, because the reality that you're living right now is nothing more than a process of what happened between then and now and different thoughts that you thunk in order to have your current moment happen. If you want the next moment to be different, or the next moment to be more like something that was really freaking amazing from the past, then start remembering and feeling and tapping into those positive, sweet sensations that you have experienced, because you do know what those feel like. And when you catch yourself thinking about the bitterness, the loss, the separation, the whatever is there that is preventing you from, or making you want to avoid certain things, just go, I have a choice. I have a choice to either access this or to access that. Who's thinking your thoughts for you? Who's in control of your thoughts? You are in control of your thoughts. The moment you start to think one thing that does not resonate with you, that does not feel good, just change your thought. Change your thought. Bring it to something that does feel good. Bring it back to that moment when you did feel full, when you did feel connected, when you did feel abundant, when you did feel playful, when you did feel full of joy, full of love, full of hope. Whatever those good things might be, you can access those feelings. Okay, guys. I actually have an appointment that's going to be coming in shortly. So I wanted to share this with you just because I was listening to music, and then something made me pour this mocha this morning. And I was just like, I'm definitely on a kick here of sweet and bitter, and this combination of what can be good but also can be bad, and the charges that we might have around that. And then listening to that song yesterday and today, I had it kind of like back to back, these songs, and it was very, very interesting, because the realization really was that, what am I choosing to pay attention to? What am I putting my focus on? Why am I insisting that I need to feel negative around something that I absolutely love? I mean, there's no reason for it. Why do we think that we need to suffer? We don't. We really don't need to suffer. So why suffer? Why suffer? Instead, tap into the joy, tap into the love, tap into the feel good, and just access that stuff. The more you do it, the more you'll have of it, the better your life will be, the more abundant your life will be, and it'll just be a fuck yes life. So there you go. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. I did see a whole bunch of people pop on here, so let me go through and say hi to a couple people. Hi, Adam, Dawn, Mark, Addison, Tracy, Marcus, Victoria, Daniel, and Jeff. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Late morning. I guess almost going on lunchtime, huh? So I will catch you guys tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. I am also going to be, I'm not going to announce that yet. I have something that I wanted to announce, but I'm not going to announce it. Not on here. I'll do a private announcement of that later. Let me see. Anything else? Let me see. I am doing Manifest Your Man for any of you local ladies out there who want to manifest a conscious lover into your life. I am doing Manifest Your Man at the end of this month on the 23rd, I want to say. Goodness, on the 23rd in Allen, Texas. So that will be a local workshop teaching you how to use the law of attraction to really call in that conscious lover into your life and to create that relationship that you might want to have. Just that guy that can really meet you in all the departments, not just in one department. And then Addison Bell and I will be also teaching a beautiful, beautiful workshop in April. And that is, thank you, Addison. She just posted the Manifest Your Man on here. So if anybody wants to learn about the 10 hacks to manifesting your conscious lover, please click on that link. Make sure that you register. It is a limited space class as well. I'm only going to have space for about 20 local ladies. So make sure that you access that ASAP and get in there. It is going to be a wonderful class. But then Addison and I will be teaching a class in early April called Seeing the Other Side, an Experiential Journey into Your Sex. And that's going to be a transformational class teaching you about how to really break through different blockages. It is going to be a class where, you know, all the talking, all the seminars, all the book reading, all the videos, all the listening that we can do, it's all fantastic. It gets us to one point in our life. But here's the reality about learning. We don't learn by just listening and looking and reading. We actually learn through experience the best. That's the place that makes the most, and somebody's calling me, that's the space that we really truly transform ourselves, that we really truly access lots of different parts of ourselves and make that transition from where we're at into a new phase, a new vibration of ourselves. So the Seeing the Other Side workshop is going to allow you to create the tools, to build the tools, and to truly see the other side of who you are in different aspects of your life and how sex really plays a role in every part of your life, where those blockages can be and what they can, by releasing those blockages, what can actually form in your life in multiple areas. Make sure that you check that out. That workshop is coming up. Again, that will be a limited space workshop. It is local as well to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you can get here, awesome. If you can't, well, I'm sorry. You're going to miss a killer workshop, 2 killer workshops. Yeah, I think that's some announcements that I'm going to make on this video for you guys. I will catch you guys tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. And as always, stop existing, start living, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.